Here, at the very edge of Brazil, the world seems to begin. This is João Pessoa, a city that greets the sun before any other in the Americas. As we begin our gentle journey, suspended in the warm morning air, the city unfolds below us like a carefully crafted map. It is not a place of harsh lines or hurried movements. Instead, it is a soft blend of nature and human life, nestled comfortably against the vast dark blue of the Atlantic Ocean. The light here is different, softer. It washes over everything, making the greens of the trees seem richer, and the white sands of the beaches appear almost luminous, a welcoming hand extended to the sea. From this high vantage point, the scale of this place becomes clear. It is a city that has grown with respect for its surroundings. The buildings do not shout for attention, they simply exist in harmony with the landscape. Below, the first signs of the day are beginning to stir. Tiny cars move like patient insects along winding roads, and the city breathes a slow, collective sigh of awakening. The air itself feels calm, holding us aloft as we drift, silent observers to this peaceful morning ritual. It is a place that feels ancient and new all at once, a secret kept by the warm Brazilian coastline. Now, our attention is drawn to the coastline, that magnificent, ever-moving line where two great forces meet. Here, the powerful Atlantic Ocean does not crash against the shore with violence, but rather seems to embrace it with a steady, rhythmic pulse. The waves roll in one after another, in long, graceful lines of white foam that dissolve upon the golden sands. It is a timeless dance, a conversation between water and earth that has been happening for millennia. From our position, we can see the full extent of this relationship, a gentle curve that stretches north and south as far as the eye can see, a perfect, natural boundary. The colors of the water are simply breathtaking. Close to the shore, the ocean is a pale, translucent green, so clear that you can almost see the texture of the sand beneath. Further out, this gentle green deepens into a vibrant turquoise, the color of a precious stone held up to the light. Beyond the coastal reefs, the water transforms again, becoming a profound, dark sapphire blue that speaks of immense depth and mystery. These colors are not static, they shift and shimmer with the changing angle of the sun and the gentle movement of the currents. The edge of the land itself is soft and yielding. There are no harsh, rocky cliffs here, only wide, welcoming beaches fringed with the deep green of coconut palms. These trees stand like silent sentinels, their fronds rustling in the sea breeze, their slender trunks leaning slightly towards the water as if listening to its secrets. They create a natural border between the city and the sea, a transition zone where the energy of urban life gives way to the tranquility of the coast. We continue our flight along the coast, observing the string of beaches that give João Pessoa its fame. Each one has its own distinct character, its own unique curve and feel. To the south, we see the sands of Tambão, a wide expanse that bustles with gentle activity. It is the city's living room, a place where people gather to walk, to talk, and to watch the world go by. The sand here is pale and fine, bordered by a beautifully tiled promenade that snakes along the waterfront. The water is calm, protected by offshore reefs that break the full force of the Atlantic, creating a vast natural swimming pool. Moving northwards, we drift over Manara Beach, a continuation of this sandy paradise. The line of coconut palms is thicker here, creating a dense green ribbon between the city and the sea. The beach is long and straight, perfect for long meditative walks. From above, we can see the shadows of the palm trees stretching across the sand in the morning light, creating a beautiful pattern of dark and gold. The water here seems even clearer, and we can make out the dark patches of the coral reefs just below the surface, teeming with unseen life. It feels like a place of quiet restoration. Further along, we arrive at the majestic curve of Cabo Branco, the White Cape. This is the most easterly point of the Americas, a place of geographical significance and natural beauty. The beach here is backed by a striking white cliff from which the cape gets its name. Atop this cliff stands the Cabo Branco Lighthouse, a stark triangular monument that serves as a beacon for ships and a symbol for the entire continent. Turning our gaze inland, away from the immediate coastline, we discover that João Pessoa is not a city of concrete and steel. It is a city of green. A vast and beautiful forest lies at its very heart, a protected reserve known as the Mata do Buraquinho. This is not just a park. It is a significant fragment of the original Atlantic forest, a rich and biodiverse ecosystem that breathes life into the entire urban area. From our vantage point, it appears as a dense, unbroken canopy of deep green, a stark and wonderful contrast to the surrounding buildings. It is the city's lung, purifying the air and providing a sanctuary for countless species of plants and animals. This commitment to green space is not confined to one large forest. As we drift over the city, we see green everywhere. Small parks are tucked into neighborhoods, and tree-lined avenues create shaded corridors for the streets below. Many of the city blocks have retained large, mature trees within their courtyards, their leafy branches reaching up towards us. It seems as though the city was built within a forest, rather than the forest being cleared to make way for the city. We can also see the winding path of the Paraíba River as it makes its way towards the sea. Its banks are lush and green, lined with mangrove forests that form a vital part of the local ecosystem. These mangroves are a tangled, beautiful wilderness, their roots creating a complex network that protects the riverbanks from erosion and provides a nursery for fish and other marine life. The river itself is a calm, dark ribbon, reflecting the blue sky above as it meanders through the landscape, a natural artery carrying life through the region. As we glide over the more developed parts of João Pessoa, the city's architecture comes into focus. The buildings are not overwhelming skyscrapers that dominate the sky. Instead, they are of a more human scale, rising gracefully from the green landscape. Along the coastline, the white and pastel-colored apartment buildings stand in gentle rows, their balconies facing the ocean to catch the refreshing sea breeze. They seem designed for a life of leisure and comfort, with wide windows and open spaces that invite the outside world in. Our path takes us over the impressive Governor Mario Covas Bridge, a modern marvel of engineering that spans the Paraíba River. From above, its elegant cable-stayed design is fully appreciated. The tall central pylon reaches towards the sky like a needle, and the cables fan out like the strings of a giant harp. It connects the city to the northern coastline, a vital link for the communities there. One structure in particular captures the eye. It is the Estação Cabo Branco, Science, Culture and Arts, designed by the famous architect Oscar Niemeyer. Its form is unlike anything else in the city. A central multi-story building with a distinctive circular shape is flanked by a large white hexagonal auditorium. From the air, it looks almost otherworldly, like a futuristic craft that has gently landed in a green park. We also notice the communication towers, slender structures that punctuate the skyline. Even these functional objects seem less intrusive here. They rise thin and delicate from the city's hills, their red and white markings a subtle pattern against the blue sky. Our journey now leads us towards the historic heart of João Pessoa, the Centro Histórico. As we drift over this area, the character of the city changes once more. The modern high-rises give way to a charming and intricate pattern of colonial architecture. The rooftops are a sea of terracotta tiles, their warm, earthy red tones glowing under the morning sun. The streets are narrower here, laid out in a grid that speaks of a different era. It is like looking down upon a living museum. At the center of this historic district, we can clearly see the Praça Antenor Navarro, a beautiful public square surrounded by colorful colonial-era buildings. From above, the square is a patch of green and stone, a place of gathering for centuries. The most magnificent structure in the old city is the São Francisco Church and Cultural Center. Even from our high perch, its grandeur is undeniable. It is not just a single church, but a vast complex of buildings, courtyards, and gardens that form a stunning example of Baroque architecture. We can see the intricate details of its stone carvings, the beautiful symmetry of its layout, and the peaceful, cloistered gardens hidden within its walls. The church's towers rise elegantly above the surrounding rooftops, their bells silent to us but a familiar sound to the residents below. Floating above this historic core, we get a sense of the city's soul. This is where João Pessoa began, on the banks of the San João River, a tributary of the Paraíba. We see the old customs house and the warehouses that once bustled with trade. The entire district exudes an atmosphere of quiet dignity and timelessness. It is a powerful reminder that beneath the modern, beach-loving city lies a deep and fascinating history. The contrast between the old and the new is not jarring. Instead, it feels like a natural and beautiful evolution. Throughout our journey, one element has been a constant companion: the sun. Here in João Pessoa, the sunlight seems to have a special quality. It is bright but not harsh, warm and life-giving. As it climbs higher in the sky, it transforms the landscape below, casting long shadows that define the shapes of buildings and trees, and illuminating the world with a brilliant clarity. The surface of the Atlantic Ocean becomes a vast, glittering mirror, a dazzling sheet of silver and gold that stretches to the horizon. The colors of the city are made more vibrant by this generous light. The deep greens of the forests and parks seem to glow from within, and the terracotta roofs of the old town take on a rich, warm hue. The white sands of the beaches become almost blindingly bright, a pure ribbon of light separating the land from the sea. Even the pastel shades of the modern apartment buildings seem to absorb the sunlight, reflecting it back in soft, gentle tones. The entire city appears to be bathed in a golden wash, creating an atmosphere of warmth and welcome. We watch as the light plays upon the water, not just the ocean, but the rivers and lagoons as well. The Paraíba River becomes a winding path of light, its surface reflecting the clear blue sky. In the Parque Solon de Lucena, in the heart of the city, the central lagoon is a perfect circle of shimmering light, surrounded by the deep green of royal palms. This embrace of the sun is fundamental to the character of João Pessoa. It influences the rhythm of life below, encouraging people to be outdoors, to connect with nature, and to enjoy the simple beauty of their surroundings. The warmth is not just physical, it is emotional. It creates a sense of optimism and ease, a feeling that everything is right with the world. Our time above João Pessoa is drawing to a close, and we begin a slow, gentle descent. As we move closer to the city, the details that were once small become clearer. We can now see the individual fronds of the coconut palms swaying in the breeze and the gentle ripples on the surface of the water. We drift lower over the Tambão beach, and now we can see the people. They are not rushing. They are strolling along the water's edge, sitting under colorful umbrellas, or playing in the calm, shallow waters. There is a sense of unhurried leisure, of time slowing down to match the rhythm of the waves. The city's famous promenade, the Calçadão, is a mosaic of black and white tiles, and we can see people walking and cycling along its length, enjoying the ocean view. It is a picture of simple, everyday contentment. Our descent takes us over one of the city's residential neighborhoods, nestled amongst the trees. The houses are modest and well kept, many with small gardens filled with tropical flowers. We see open windows and shaded verandas, signs of a life lived in harmony with the warm climate. There are no high walls or imposing fences. Instead, there is a sense of openness and community. It feels like a place where neighbors know each other, and where the sounds of children playing can be heard in the quiet afternoons. As we come to rest, metaphorically speaking, the feeling of tranquility remains. The air is warm and smells of salt and flowers. The light is still soft and golden. The city of João Pessoa has revealed itself to be a place of extraordinary calm and gentle beauty. It is a city that does not overwhelm the senses but soothes them. It is a place where nature is not an afterthought but an integral part of daily life. The quiet flight has ended, but the impression of peace and harmony lingers on, a lasting memory of this hidden Brazilian gem.